Hey, what's up, everybody, man? So the NFL season is slowly approaching. And with the season approaching, I want to come here and give you all three teams, just three teams, that I feel are the most underrated teams going into next season. Started with the most underrated team in the NFL, the Washington Commanders. Yes, I said the Washington Commanders are the most underrated team in the NFL. Hear me out. The Washington Commanders, I understand they was 4-13 last year. They was shitty. They were piss poor. They could have been better. But let's be realistic here. I've been a person that's been following the Commanders decently since 2020. This team has been a middle-of-the-pack team. They have been a team that could compete. They've been a team that's lost games that they should have won, and they've been losing simply because there's things in the way, not only because they don't have enough pieces, but they've been struggling to really find a quarterback. They've been struggling. They tried to start over with Dwayne Haskins, and rest in peace to this man, but he just wasn't the man, you feel me? Then, towards the end of the season of 2020 when they made the playoffs, Taylor Heineke came straight off the couch, suited up for that playoff game, and he played decent. He was decent enough to where people thought he can really start next year, and he did start. And, wasn't trash, but wasn't the best, but he was decent. But we already know he's not a franchise guy. Plus, he's up there a little bit in age, so they wanted to go a different direction. They wanted to take a shot on Carson Wentz. Because Carson Wentz, this is a guy that they thought could revive his career, especially since he statistically had a decent year in Indianapolis the year before. That went terribly wrong. And then Ron Rivera decided to handpick Sam Howell, and he made Sam Howell straight up the starter going into week 1 of last season. You've seen how that went. The reason why this team has been struggling to upgrade at quarterback is because they either had a pick that was not in position for them to get one of the top guys in the draft, or there just wasn't enough options out there on the free agency market or the trade market. So this is why they've been dealing with these booty quarterbacks, excluding Dwayne Haskins. Like I said, rest in peace. We not going to slander Dwayne Haskins, you feel me? But yeah, this is a team that's been in the middle of the pack, and now that they went out there and got in the quarterback, since they were blessed enough to be shitty enough to get a top pick in the draft, they got Jaden Daniels, the Heisman Trophy winner, the guy that was really a dog out there at LSU. Dual threat quarterback, man. Jaden Daniels. And it's good because Jaden Daniels has impressed teammates and coaches with his work ethic and on-the-field performance. So obviously, he's on track, and he appears to be learning very fast. And I think he has a realistic shot to be a starter week 1 or soon. You feel me? With that being said, I understand y'all saying, man, ain't no rookie quarterback taking no team from 4-13 to the playoffs. I ain't saying Washington gonna make the playoffs, but it's not impossible. We just seen what C.J. Stroud did with them Texans as a rookie. Not saying Jaden Daniels go beat C.J. Stroud, but this is very much possible. I think they could turn around and be a very competitive team to where they could build on the upcoming season and potentially be a playoff team. But, realistically, with the Eagles and Cowboys in their division, I can't sit up here and say they're going to be a playoff team. That just would kind of be absurd, and I'm already being a little bold saying that they're an underrated team to some, but I genuinely feel like this is an underrated team. And you got to look at his supporting cast as well. He's a rookie quarterback with Zach Ertz as his tight end. Zach Ertz, he may not be in his prime anymore, but Zach Ertz is a serviceable tight end, a veteran that is a great option for a rookie quarterback. We know young quarterbacks need a good tight end. Zach Ertz is the man. Wide receiver position. McLaurin, established wide receiver 1 veteran. He can do it all. Great route runner, great down the field threat, great contested grabs. He can get some yards after the catch. McLaurin is the whole package. He's played with a lot of quarterbacks, so I don't think he would have an issue playing with Jaden Daniels. They still got Dotson. I think he has a lot of untapped potential, and if he can stay healthy, he can tap into that potential. And don't forget, Ayuk just requested a trade. Ayuk been buddy with Jaden Daniels. They might go ahead and trade for him. So that'll be a great trio. And they also got Luke McCaffrey, who they just drafted. A guy that could be their little slot guy, Swiss Army knife or whatever. And guess what? When it all comes back, when Jaden Daniels is struggling, when he's in trouble in that pocket, he got Austin Eckler, one of the top multi-purpose backs in the league, let alone top running backs in the league, who he can just be in trouble and just dump it off to in the flats on the check down, and he might take it all the way. At least get him a first down. At least he can go for 20 yards. And you can hand the ball off to him. But, he's not really a guy that's about to, as quote unquote, he's not a guy that's about to touch the rock 300 times. That's why they got Brian Robinson behind him, who's also a cool option. But Eckler is a great option for a rookie quarterback to have to really help him not go out there and mess up. So he has a great supporting cast, and even if Jacoby Brissett suited up, it's not like he doesn't have the same cast, and Jacoby Brissett is a vet. Jacoby Brissett can win. He can win games. He literally can win games. He's done it. So the Washington Commanders, they something to watch out for. And then they got some pieces on defense. They added Bobby Wagner, who's we don't even got to talk about Bobby Wagner. You feel me? They got Jamin Davis, who's a very decent, solid, linebacker. Then they got Deron Payne on the line. They got Jonathan Allen on the line. They got Dante Fowler on the line. They got Jeremy Chin in that secondary. They got Derek Forrest. And they got Emmanuel Forbes, even though I think Emmanuel Forbes was looking a little skinny during the offseason. But they got some pieces on defense, and they definitely got a good enough offense to where this team, I think, can get back on track to progressing, especially if Jaden Daniels ends up being the man that they want him to be. So, yeah, Washington Commanders are the most underrated team in the league. Not saying they're going to be a playoff team, but, hey, if they, they end up being that wild card, remember, Pitt Sports said it. Next, we got the Pittsburgh Steelers. They're very underrated, simply because last year, this is the thing about the Steelers. The Steelers, they have always been a team that no matter what their roster look like, they're going to give you a run for their money. They know how to win games. Even though they may not be in position to win the games, they have great coaching by Mike Tomlin. They have a system, and it just works. So, yes, they go out there, and they make it happen. That's why it's tough having them in our division as a Browns fan. But if they was able to go out there and win games and make the playoffs with Kenny Pickett at quarterback, what you think Russell Wilson gonna do? Here's the thing about Russell Wilson. People think Russell Wilson is trash. Russell Wilson, yes, he's not Seattle Russell Wilson. Russell Wilson, not saying he can't be that, but he's not that. Denver was a bad experiment for Russell Wilson. But even then, Russell Wilson can still ball. Russell Wilson is still a good quarterback. He's not a top 10 quarterback anymore, but Russell Wilson is a good quarterback, bro. I don't know what people is thinking or acting like, but a lot of people should want to have a guy like Russell Wilson on their team if it makes sense. It made perfect sense for the Steelers. They was already, like I said, a playoff team. So you add Russell Wilson, he can use a guy like George Pickens and turn him up a little bit. I understand they're a little slim at the wide receiver position, but they also may be in the running for Brandon Ayuk too. They got Calvin Austin over there, a little decent playmaker, dude that can play the slot. But, they're a little slim at receiver, but I've seen Russell Wilson do good things with, very less talent. So I think he can make it happen. They got, Najee Harris isn't really too much to talk about, but they got Najee, they got Warren out the backfield as well. They got that Fairmount tight end. And they got defensive players. It don't matter what names I'm naming. They just added Patrick Queen to the linebacker position. They also added Dante Jackson, the corner from the Panthers. I understand they let go of Deontay Johnson from the wide receiver room, but this is a team that, like I said, considering that they got Russell Wilson and added a few pieces and they already is a playoff team, this is a team that is very underrated and could be better than they was last year. Plain and simple. They can be a real threat. And then last but not least, we got the Chicago Bears. The obvious, you feel me? Last year, the Chicago Bears, they were 7-10 with Justin Fields. I told people Justin Fields was not good. I said he was trash. He was getting all this MVP hype. I wasn't going for it. Justin Fields is not good. He's not a good quarterback. And I told people last year he was a black Marcus Mariota. Plain and simple. And I turned out to be decently right. He's a great athlete. He can run. He has flashes. He has flashes of potential, but he can't put it all together. That's why they were 7-10. And it was good that they moved on from Justin Fields because now he's fielding kicks out there with the Steelers. You feel me? Come on, man. But to get back to the point, they were 7-10 last year under Justin Fields, and they just moved on from an 8, and they revamped the whole offense. They drafted Caleb Williams, who is supposedly the best quarterback out of his class. We'll see how that goes in the future, but as of right now, he's the best quarterback out of his class, and he seems to be the most pro-ready, so he will start week 1, no questions asked. And they did a good job also giving him a supporting cast. His supporting cast is even better than Jaden Daniels. They gave this man Keenan Allen. They drafted Rome Odunze, and they already had DJ Moore. So that trio is crazy. You feel me? Then they added DeAndre Swift, who is one of the most underrated running backs in the league. I like DeAndre Swift. I don't know why the Lions traded him to the Eagles, but that was a great pickup for the Eagles. But obviously, since the Eagles got Saquon, there's no need for DeAndre Swift. So yeah, the Bears did a great job adding DeAndre Swift. DeAndre Swift is a guy that can run that rock, and he can also catch the ball out the backfield. Good multi-purpose back in the league. So this is a good bailout option for Caleb Williams, as well as a running back that can really hold his own by running that rock, you know? So it was good to see them add DeAndre Swift. It really fits the team. And then they added Gerald Everett to the tight end room, who was a solid tight end, veteran tight end, who they paired with Cole Kmet, who obviously started to come along a little bit. I thought he was trash, but he started to come along a little bit last year, you know? So Cole Kmet, Gerald Everett is at the tight end position. And then they added Kevin Byard to the defensive back room. So they have a lot of talent that they just added to the offense, and they added a few pieces on defense. This team has potential to make a fight for a wild card spot. Plain and simple, but it really all depends on Caleb Williams, because if Caleb Williams is trash, all of this shit is going to go to waste, you know? But if Caleb Williams is good, he doesn't have to be CJ Stroud good, but if he's good, I don't see why this team can't get better. I couldn't imagine this team failing, you know? So yeah, these are the three most underrated teams I feel like personally in the league going into next year. Let me know some other teams that y'all think are honorable mentions, some teams that, you know, y'all think should have been on the list. Let me know. Like, comment, subscribe, and I got more content coming soon.